Alright, well, it's gonna be a decent day outside, a little chilly, but had one hell of a heavy frost this morning. But should be able to get back on beans. I'm gonna figure 2 o'clock or so about 3 hours. Still gotta go remove the combine, but I'll wait till it's a little closer to that time. I like that truck. That belongs to a friend of ours. 359 Pete. Can't remember what motor it's got in it. I'm pretty sure it's a Cat. But anyway, yeah. So while I'm waiting on stuff to dry down, I'm gonna tinker with the white here a little bit. I got hopefully where to get it to start under its own power with the key instead of having to jump the damn solenoid. Got my new alternator here for it because A, I don't think this one worked at all, and B, that's not supposed to be like that. This tractor right here is proof that some people should not own or be allowed to operate a wrench, because they had that alternator running loose. I can't even believe that. Yeah, that's how I know it. Part of the reason I know it didn't work is because the belts are so damn loose. If it actually was charging, it would have never spun it. So I got this bad boy, which is a Reman AC Delco, and upgrade, because 30 volt or 30 amp, 65 amp. That way, when I go through and redo the lighting on this thing, I can throw a shit ton of lights on it and it won't care. But first things first, I gotta put my double pulley on this here alternator, so we're gonna do that real quick. Just got off the phone with Mr. Nate. He called and had some questions about some tools and just to shoot the shit a little bit, so he's a fun guy to talk to. I think he's starting to figure out what kind of trouble he got himself into buying that farm, so it's kind of funny. But Nate, when you watch this, I think you're gonna make it. You're going into it the right way and doing the research and getting the right tools. Just don't blame me when you're going spending a shit ton of money on the farm, because it's gonna start happening. You're gonna think you're gonna be at the point where you're like, yeah, I got enough stuff to work this farm, and then you're gonna be driving past a dealership one day. Yeah, I kind of want one of those, and you're gonna buy one of those, and you're gonna be driving by another day. I kind of want one of those, and you're gonna buy one of those. It's never ending. Oh yeah. That thing was shot. That bearing's dry as a bone. Why the hell they put a lock washer on there. This is a terrible application for a lock washer. That'll do, Trigger. Alright. Got these fan belts for it. These ones that run it were shot. Bad. I don't know how they were still in one piece. Tell you what, we got a Napa here, but it's like an independent Napa, and they got like 4 or 5 stores, I think, but it's all under a company called the Ridge Corporation. Real good people. You actually go to the parts counter and have something that is a little off. Like, I get tractor parts there all the time, and they can actually find them and, you know, look them up in the book. They don't need a computer to tell them a part number and go back and pull it off the shelf. They can actually find shit. But really like the guys there, and took that alternator in yesterday morning on the way home from work. So I drive right past it, and I wasn't going to come back here and then drive back there. And we're looking at that alternator, and come on, get in there, you bitch. It's like, yeah, this thing's all, since the case on this thing's all tore up there, I don't even think they're gonna give you a core on it, because they can't rebuild it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I need one anyway. They really aren't all that expensive. The alternator, I think, was $50. And wrong set. And so I got my alternator and grabbed my old one, walked out the door, and got back here and looked at my receipt. He gave me an $11 core on it, and they never even took the old alternator. Like, thank you. And it was an upgrade to boot. Come on. That little bastard's in there tight. There we go. Oh shit. Need to figure out how to get that pressed back out there. Alright, so this is what I had to do. This is the alternator bracket. And what they do on these things to make up for any variation in width in the case, or to be able to put different alternators in here or what have you, is this hole right here has got a bushing in it that'll slide back and forth, and that makes this hole narrower or wider depending on what happens. And I just had to stick it in the press and pop that bushing out for the alternator to fit. So yeah, shit. That's one tool I do not know how we would do anything without, is that damn shop press. And if you get one, don't get no sissy one, get a decent one. That's a 50-tonner. And there's times we need even more than that, but don't buy them new either. That one's I think we determined it was built back in the 40s or the 50s. It's an old date. I think Dad, can't remember if that one came, I'm pretty sure that one came off of eBay. And I think I want to say you only had to give like $1,800 for it, and it's pretty much the only thing we've done to it is he rebuilt or put new seals in the cylinder and put new glass in the gauge. Just got the original. That's the cool thing, is it still got the original date gauge on it. So real ornate. back when even something as simple as a tool had class to it. But yeah, if you're gonna buy a shop press, watch eBay, Craigslist. You get some really damn good deals on some really damn good equipment. Oh, there it is. Alright, should fit now. I know it'll fit because it's the same frame size, or it's the same frame as the one that came off of it. Okay, now pull these over. Get down there, you little prick. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but whenever I got a double, I wonder if the thing won't tighten. Whenever I got a double belt like this, for some reason the OCD in me puts the stripes on the belt right next to each other so that when they go around it goes in the same spot. Don't know why, I just always done it. It annoys me if they're not like that for some reason. I don't know if that makes me weird or not. Of course, we've already proven I'm not normal, so. Man, they didn't leave a whole lot of room to play when it comes to that fan next to that tensioner bracket, I'll tell you what. Okay, I need something to pry on that son of a bitch with. Oh yeah, another reason I'm taking these damn straight pipes off. A, they don't belong here, and B, they make this thing a pain in the ass to work on. Shit. Like right now, if they weren't there, I could get a ratchet in here real nice and easy. But because they're here, it's a pain in the ass. Alright, let's try this again. Where can I stick this? There's literally, maybe this, no, there's literally nothing in there to pry out. And I got them kind of tight, as tight as I'd like them to be. Come on. There. feel too bad. Long socket. Guess what? The alternator doesn't flop around now when you get all the bolts tight. Go figure. Some people. I don't understand how they could get away with it, because if I did piss poor maintenance and did something stupid like that, the alternator would come flying out the side and break something. That's why I don't jerry-rig these things, because it'd always come back to fuck me in the end. Because I just can't. Every time I try it, that's what happens. Plus, I just don't. I don't like doing it. I'd rather fix something right the first time and not have to worry about it again. This alternator actually works out a little bit better because, and I'm not 100% sure the one that came off if it was original to the tractor. I highly doubt it. But on that one, your plug came out the side right here. Now this one is down here, so it's back inside the frame and protected. Except, I guarantee you. Damn it. Never have the right wrench. What, you little prick? Don't tell me they made that bastard metric. They made that bastard metric. No. Oh, I hate them. Cocksuckers. Yep, that bolt right there's got a 10 point. You sons of bitches. I wonder I didn't have the right damn wrench for it. I hate it when they do that. Yep, sure as shit, it's 10mm. Bastards. Bet you thought it'd never take this many cuts to put an alternator on. I know I didn't. Alright, there's that. Now I gotta get that on there. Maybe right here. Yeah, that looks like it ought to work. Now this right here, this is funny shit. So this, basically I'll explain how this setup works. Got a solenoid goes right here. Okay, that goes there. So basically the reason I got that on there is because this monster ass starter they got on here draws so much amperage that if you just ran a key wire straight to it, you'd fry the key switch every time. So what they do is they run the key down to this here solenoid. Key activates this solenoid, then the solenoid takes a high amperage over to the starter. Well, you don't fry the key. Well, for those of you that can't guess, this tractor's got a 12-volt system on it. So I took this solenoid here over to Napa to get a new one because we found out it wasn't clicking when you actuated it. I mean, solenoid didn't work. So I got it sitting there on the counter in Napa looking at it while they're back here, while they're back there, and I flip it around and look at it. Don't know if you can see that little 6V on there. The jackwads that had this thing put a 6-volt solenoid on it. I'm sure the first time they went to start it after they put that on there, they blew the solenoid up. That's probably why it won't click no more. Probably fried it. Again, some people should not be able to turn, or should not be allowed to turn wrenches. And they were, the son and the grandson of the owner were there at the auction. They came over and were talking to me after I bought it. Like, yeah, it's a great tractor. The only thing it really needs is the wire run down to the starter. Close. Very close. Just needs a new solenoid. And everything else is hunky-dory. Hopefully. So, we got the appropriate 12-volt solenoid to go on here. Hopefully that'll take care of the problem. Now, I think it's gonna be easier to take that plate off, bolt the solenoid to it, and bolt the plate back on. Okay, got the solenoid on there. I got the wiring harness on this thing put back together last weekend while I was waiting to waiting for the ground to dry up a little bit to shell corn. And this son of a bitch better not be metric. And kind of glad I ended up tearing it apart as far as I did. It was right back. The wire harness goes down behind the starter, and then there's a couple wire clips underneath the or that use the oil pan bolts to hold the harness up. And right back there where it makes the bend, there's a bunch of broken and frayed wires, so I got all those straightened out. Part of the reason I think it didn't charge was because the resistance wire that goes back to excite the alternator was broke clean in two. And again, some people should not be able to work on equipment. All they did was they cut out a chunk of wire, twisted the ends together, and then wire taped it back. They didn't even like independently tape the wire. They just taped it back in the harness so there was exposed wire. That freaked me out. So got that hopefully straightened out. So hopefully it'll charge now. But I'm still not 100% sure it will, because I did the best I could to solder it back together. And basically what I ended up having to do was I took a butt splice, pulled the plastic off of it, and then filled it full of solder. And stuck the two ends of the busted wire in there because it's only a, it's kind of weird actually. They opted to use a single strand wire. It's a heavy gauge single strand, but it's only, it's not a multi-strand copper wire. It's not even, the wire's not even copper. I don't know if it's steel or copper coated with something. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So hopefully that'll take care of it for now. I think I mentioned it in the last video. I can get a brand new wiring harness for this thing through AGCO. And I'm gonna hold off on that for a little while because it was $300, which I mean I got the money for it right now. I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on it right now. I already got like $900 something for the parts to get or start rebuilding the pivot point on this thing. And I haven't even got the main pins for it yet. I just got stuff to rebuild the steering arms. But I think that's where most of the slop is on it, because driving it down the road, it'll keep itself going straight, but it'll sit there and the front end will kind of bobble back and forth just a little bit, and you can feel it clunk. So that got me thinking it's the steering arms were getting a little loosey-goosey. Actually, wait a minute here. But I got them things hooked up backwards. This thing doesn't actually have a, the other solenoid was marked. It had one end marked battery, and then the other end was your output. So battery would be your input. I'm not actually 100% sure. Yeah, it's actually got to matter, because otherwise it wouldn't actuate the solenoid without power to the right side. But see. On this one, and I'm assuming that one is the same way, because I got battery on this side, but I flipped it over so it fit better. So battery would be, so yeah, that wire, so yeah, I got that backwards. Which is a good thing, because I'm kind of stretching out that wire a little bit. Come on, you little prick, I just put you on there. And I also mentioned in the last video that I knew where I can get a new cab for this thing, and I went and looked at it the other day, or Dad and I went down and looked at it the other day, and it's not in as good a shape as I hoped it had been. The side, or like the tin on it, is in better shape than this. There's no rust in it, but there's rust in, for some reason there's rust in the frame on it, which boggled me a little bit. That's some pretty heavy iron to be rusting out, but I guess Granddad wanted to get me that for Christmas, so he bought it. And basically what I'm going to do is use that parts cab and cut the panels out of it and weld in this one. Because this one actually, the interior metal, like, or the dash and the seat, or the cowling and all the stuff for the heating and AC and where the seat sits, that stuff in this thing's actually surprisingly like almost perfect. All the decals in it are still good. The big thing is the tin's rusted out on it around the base. But like I say, that cab I'm getting, the tin on it's good. It's just a frame shot, so I'm going to use it to cut patches out of to fix this cab. And then get all the tin patched in it and put a cab kit in it. I think it'll be a pretty sweet rig once I get that done. And then go through and maybe take the fiberglass off of it this winter. And we know a guy that's pretty good at fiberglass work. See if I can get him to fix it for me. And then I don't know. Of course, I also got to get. I think I'm gonna have enough money left. Because originally when I bought this thing, I was like, well, shit. 19's gonna have to wait for tires again another year. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have enough money. I'm still gonna be able to put new tires in the 19, and I'd really rather do that before I start dumping a shit ton of money into getting this one prettied up. I want to get this one mechanically right, but it doesn't need to look good right away. And oops, run this back through here where it belongs. They didn't have this running in the right spot either, and they didn't have it's got this wire clamp on it there, and they didn't even have that bolted anything, so the battery cable was flopping down here by the axle. Great way to rip it off. We're gonna run it. Hopefully get it back here behind the starter where it belongs. It's one thing, you work on this old stuff, and wiring on it's generally the worst part by far. Because just 50 years of 50 years of wear and tear is just hard on the wiring harness. But so naturally you're gonna find stuff where guys have been in there patching wires and adding stuff and taking stuff out and whatever. They never put the wires back where they belong. It's not that hard. But again, I'm just OCD about that crap. So maybe it's just me. Although maybe that one does belong. It sure would fit. Unfortunately, I'm kind of reading this wiring harness by Braille because they don't give a good picture of it in the book. But I guess this thing would lay a whole lot better if it was sticking straight out and ran along like that. Oh yeah. That's more better. Okay, I got all that buttoned up. I had the batteries out of it because I took them over to Napa with me, but there's some confusion there, so I think I already said I got the right batteries coming for it. They had to order them, but I had to come back here and measure the battery box because it said the book says it took Group 30H batteries. I trusted the number. What I didn't trust was if that number still meant the same thing it said meant back in 1974 when I made the tractor, so just wanted to double check and make sure I was getting the right ones for it, and I am, so. But those ones were kind of shitty, so I don't know if I'll have to throw the battery charger on this thing to get it to run or not. Of course, first I gotta know if anything actually, if the damn thing actually. Very interesting. Well, I guess first things first. We're gonna do this and see if it'll even jump the starter. Huh, well, I got them two awful close. Okay, so we know that's good. So, where am I not getting power to? Well, unfortunately, it's going to be kind of hard to diagnose this part without two people. One to turn the key switch and one to be down here running a voltmeter. So, I just have to wait on that one. Maybe get Granddad down here tomorrow morning or something while I'm waiting again. But I kind of want to see if I got the charging thing solved, so we're going to cheat. Plus, I know everybody wants to hear this thing run. Okay, that's on. Cranky, cranky. Got one hell of an exhaust leak on this side. There's no gasket in there. Which is also why it looks like this bank is weak, is because all your exhaust pressure is coming out right there. Anybody noticed the stain down there? The only leak on this tractor that has showed up is a fuel leak that's coming out of the bottom of the tank. It's because of all that hot shit they got in there. There's a bunch of stuff in there that doesn't belong in there, and it looks, the bottom of the tank looks dry. Everything that's wet is all the plumbing, so we're going to pull a fuel tank and redo that, and hopefully that takes care of the problem. But this thing hadn't been started since I brought it down here 2 weeks ago, so I'll be damned, it's charging. So that part's fixed. Just need to figure out why the hell we're not getting power down there to that solenoid. Wish I knew that, I wish that thing was marked so I knew which side was actually the battery terminal. Yeah, you can feel it funky in the steering. I don't think it's a bushing in the cylinder because the steering responds too quick for it. I'm pretty sure it's them two arms. Take them straight pipes off of it. Yeah, she got a little bit of a bark. Now just imagine that thing pulling a 5-shank gripper at like 10:30 at night. This is the part that amazed me though. Damn windshield wiper still works. You just gotta stop it in the right spot because it's not automatic return. But I'm glad I got the charging situation figured out. I can't believe the fix on that wire worked because it looks like shit. But hey, if it does the job. The way this works, just like any other four-wheel drive, that's your live shaft for your power takeoff, and then the bottom one's your drive shaft. Then ass end just looks like any other Oliver, hydraulic pump back here, and priority valve and all that fancy stuff. And then these are the arms that I got to put bushings in. And eventually, I'll probably do the main pins too, but I want to see how much doing these solves that shaking issue first. That'll determine how big of a priority everything is. Dang, it sounds good, but them pipes just look so damn stupid. It'd be one thing if there was a way, which I actually think would look kind of cool if you could do it this way, but there's not enough room to do it. is to come up and run them up alongside the cab so that they don't interrupt your visibility any. And just run along the cab post like a new tractor would be, but not enough room to get the pipes down through there. So anyway, now you've heard it run. Maybe one day you'll see it move. I don't want to take it too far because them batteries are just sitting there loose, but now I gotta figure out where the hell all my power's going down to that solenoid that's making it not start. The only other option would be to swap them wires back and forth real quick and see if that helps. I might do that real quick. Just I don't want to take too much longer because I want to get some lunch and get that combine moved. I'll screw with it tomorrow morning. So, but anyway, I guess this is going to be your video for the day, and we'll get another combine one in tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be finishing up tomorrow. So I guess that does it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next